What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a quick video. I just thought for fun we would take a look at a few of my Nien Nunb. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, guys. I know he's a Celestin rebel. I know that he was involved in the Resistance. I know that he helped destroy the second Death Star with General Lando Calrissian. I pronounce it Nien Nunb. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I didn't go to Wikipedia and look it up. But anyway, here we are. We got Nien Nunb, and we got basically three different genres, if you will. A couple of these you've already seen, but first on the left, I don't think I've shown this one to you yet. This is my Lili Ledy Nien Nunb. He is a really cool figure. I hate the case. After seeing all the new cases, I don't particularly like these. The good thing is, well, I don't know if it's good, but AFA overcharged me for my last shipment. So I've got a huge credit still because they overcharged me by a lot. So I've got like 4 or 5 figures that I want to send back in at some point soon to have them recased with the new casing style. And this is probably going to be one of them because this is a Lili Ledy Nien Nunb. You know, Lili Ledy obviously made in Mexico, the Mexican factory down there, highly desired. Very slight differences between, you know, some of the U.S. Kenner figures and what was made down in Mexico versus the Tri-Logos out in Europe and PBP in Spain and things like that. But this is my Mexican Lili Ledy, and here is the grading on it, so you can take a look at it if I can get my camera to focus. Lili Ledy, Star Wars, loose action figure, no COO, which is common for every Lili Ledy, Nien Nunb, 85 near mint plus. So, really nice figure. You can see his blaster there. It's kind of like a Jawa-style blaster that they put with the Lili Ledy Nien Nunb. I think it was a different blaster, if memory serves me, for the Kenner figure, but I could be wrong on that. I don't have any graded Kenners, but it might be the same now that I think about it. But this is the only kind of official licensed Nien Nunb in my collection, and you know, that's graded, and so I just thought I'd show that to you. Beautiful figure, though. If you want a really nice comparison between kind of the Hong Kong and the Lili Ledy, there's a channel that I talk about occasionally called the Blacked Out Ewoks. There's a recent video he did where it kind of compares the colors. I thought the most noticeable difference were with the gloves, and the Lili Ledy's got kind of a darker, deeper ruby red. And I think there were some color differences maybe in the face as well. Maybe this was a little bit pinker. I don't remember exactly the differences, but whenever I get one, we'll do a comparison as well. But there's a nice comparison on his channel there. But that is what he looks like. Really nice condition figure. You know, again, I'm not in love with the case, but I'll probably get this one recased. The recase, just for those of you whose ears perked up about that. AFA does offer recasing, and it's not as expensive as you know, getting it graded, because there's not really new grading that has to be done unless, you know, the figure has noticeable damage since grading or sun fading or something like that. But if the figure is basically the same, they will recase those for a fairly nominal fee. I want to say it's like $20. I'm not sure though. It might even be less than that. So. So that is an option. I've got a few figures like, I'm going to go ahead and just pull one down off there. I've got a few figures like this that, you know, have the, I think, another viewer of mine who also has his own channel, Mr. Domo's Toys, I think he calls these clear view grading labels. There's the classic style, which is what I just showed you with the Nien Nunb, and then you have these that are clear view, which they put up top. And I absolutely despise these. I just cannot stand the way they look. I've got them on a number of my Black Series figures, and I've got 4 or 5 vintage figures that have this. And so I am OCD, all right? I'm obsessive compulsive. I've got problems, okay? I know that. I willingly admit that I have OCD issues. And the fact that I've got 4 or 5 of these kind of cases drives me nuts when I look at the rest of my collection. You know, I've got like, you know, I don't know how many I've got in here now. A lot. I've got a lot of graded figures in here. And 4 or 5 of these have this banner style. I call them banner style, but I think it's called clear view grading. So I'm going to send in probably this Nien Nunb along with the 4 or 5 that are like this that I have that I can't stand the way it looks. It just completely ruins the flow of my room, bro. So it really kills me though. So I'm gonna go in and send those back in because the new casing styles are so much better with the etch cases for the accessories and things. So that's on my to-do list. It's pretty low priority, to be honest with you, given everything else I've got going on, but that's something I do want to do. Anyway, I got completely diverted off topic here, so sorry about that. But next, I've already shown you this one as well. This is the Mexican Bootleg 9 I have. This is from the 1980s. This series is called the Extended Shoulder, or raised arm bootleg line of bootlegs, and I've got a number of these in grading right now, so we'll be able to see some other nice examples. This is a beautiful example. I bought this one already graded, as I talked about in my video for this figure, but just since we're talking about my Lili Ledy and kind of comparing them to some of my other bootlegs, I thought I'd show that to you again. For those of you that missed that video, just really quickly, yellow unarticulated bootleg from the 1980s, and it came back with an 85 plus, so it's a beautiful figure. I mean, a lot of people don't like these, even among the bootleg collectors. They're not big fans of these. They're not particularly expensive. Some of them are, like Luke's and Han Solo's and things like that. But versus the articulated, these do not go for a premium. So I'm not saying that this was cheap, because it was a very expensive figure. But relative to a 1980s 9 that is fully articulated, legs and arms, or just arms, semi-articulated with the arms, those go for quite a bit more money. But anyway, I love it. I love this line. I think they're so cool. There's so many different color variations and figures. So I've got a number of these in grading right now. So that's the Mexican Bootleg. And then real quick, I just thought I'd show you guys the two of my Polish bootlegs. Now, these are both third generation as far as I'm aware. The blue one might be a second generation, but I know for a fact this one is a third generation from the 1990s. This one may be a second generation 9 I'm not positive on that. The giveaway is if you look at the legs, so the arms and legs. So what's interesting about this comparison is that this 9 uses the Biker Scout arms and legs, which is common. Most of the figures in these on these bootlegs used the Biker Scout arms and legs. They just repeated them. But the ones that didn't were these, and they used, I believe, it was either the TIE Fighter pilot arms or the AT driver's arms. I believe it was the TIE Fighter pilot arms. Looking at them, it looks very similar to it. So you often see Leia oftentimes will have these arms or these arms, but it's just interesting to see the comparison between the two of them, and how there are some sculpting differences, and depending on when they were made, they use different different types of limbs. But what gives this away as a possible second gen is that I'm not positive on it, to be honest with you, but it looks like it's got the wider waist on the third gen. So I could be completely wrong on that, but I was reading through the Far, Far Away book, and that was one of the giveaways, along with the arms. If the arms pop out really easily, which these do, so they have the cone shape sockets versus the typical ball and socket joints that you saw in the third generation ones. So I'm almost positive this is a third generation, but the waist doesn't look that wide relative to the third gen, so I could be wrong on it. But anyway, both of these are in excellent condition. I haven't had a chance to get them graded yet. I do have 3 or 4 other 9 Polish bootlegs that are in grading, and so we'll get those back, in the next few months. But 9 is actually one of the most common figures in the Polish bootleg line in terms of availability. I mean, they're just everywhere. There are so many different color combinations. I was reading through the book again, and they found something like 160 different color combinations and molding combinations for the 9 Polish bootleg between the 3 generations, the first, second, and third. So just really interesting. But this blue one is the first time I've ever seen this. I bought this one on Facebook a while ago, and I think I might have even shown it in a video in the past. But beautiful figure. I really love it. But the colors are just all over the map. I've seen light gray, dark gray, blue, orange, just greens. I mean, just crazy color combinations. But he is one of the more common figures along with Biker Scouts and Darth Vaders and a few others. So anyway, I just thought you guys would like to take a look at everything all together here. I wish I had some more Kenner 9 Nubs to kind of compare between the Lili Ledy and the Kenner, but I don't have any right now, so we'll have to make do with what I got here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.